Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's just philosophize today. Can conflict be harmony? Or is conflict always bad? Bad for a system, bad for a person, bad for a society? I think our natural reaction to a question like that is, yeah, conflict is bad. And if you notice, the idea of utopia, the idea of heaven, is that everybody's getting along. Can't we all just get along? And the answer is usually no. We can't. Some people chase a harmonious life, a life without drama, a life of peace. I find myself doing this. And I have a strong aversion to any kind of waves that are made in my life, at least externally. It's one thing if I'm fucking my life up. I'm allowed to do that, but none of y'all can. But if we study science, and say, for example, if you look at the blood, your plasma, your blood, and you look at it under a microscope, you'll see blood cells moving around. And in fact, your blood has a particle war between the cells that's going on inside you right now. And without that battle, that literal actual war that's going on a cellular level inside of you as we speak, and it's absolutely a war. If you were to stop that and to follow your idea of harmony, getting rid of conflict, peace, you would literally die. So if you can find one example, just one example of where conflict is not just tolerable, you don't just barely live with it, you absolutely need it. And without that conflict, you die. If you can find one example of this, why couldn't you find more? And the question we're trying to answer is, can conflict be harmony? Well, apparently it can within the bloodstream. You go talk to a mercenary, people who like to be involved in war. And these guys will go from Afghanistan when the Afghani war is over. Man, they are getting in their little white pickup trucks, them little white Toyotas. I don't know why every terrorist in the world has a goddamn white Toyota. But they'll get in their little white Toyotas and drive to Syria and go fight a war there, or drive to Uzbekistan and fight a war there. They'll drive to any one of the stands, because there's always a fucking war in one of those stand countries. And they love it. And you want to see a miserable Afghanistan motherfucker, a miserable Syrian? You want to see one of them who's just absolutely just all negative and pouty? You take away their war. Give them peace. Oh, they hate it. They can't stand it. They'll make up silly rules and just start beheading people and pushing them off buildings. They just have to have some drama. You might be like that. I've met chicks that were just argumentative chicks. They just like to argue. If things are going too well in the relationship, they'll create some sort of problem just because they want to have some real good make-up sex. Maybe they have it in their head that you don't really love me unless you fight with me. It's one thing to fight for you. Baby, I'll fight for you. No, they want you to fight with them. And if you don't fight with your woman, if you're stoic and she's all upset and you just kind of walk away from the argument, she will literally think that you don't care about her. It's like you have to go and shake her until her fucking neck breaks, until she realizes you love her. What kind of weird shit is that? So I don't know where we go with this, but I think that it's worth noticing that if there's a a scenario, biological scenario within us, within our blood, where we have to have this cellular war, this particle war. It has to happen or you die. Then all conflict can't be bad. We can't just go around just labeling it bad, bad, bad. There must be some conflict that's good. Some conflict that actually brings harmony to us. Because, say, for example, going back to the blood, if you are on your deathbed, that's far from harmony. If you're dying in some painful way, your blood has stopped flowing, your blood has stopped circulating. Oh, that would be painful. That wouldn't be a really good way to go, and you'd be begging for conflict. Maybe we shouldn't get so bent out of shape about conflict. Maybe that's the answer to what we're talking about. Sometimes when we philosophize on a topic, there really is no actual answer. It's just something that we mull around, something we kick around for a day or two or a week or 20 years, depending on how stuck you get on it. Maybe we shouldn't worry so much about conflict because we need it. We see society go through these waves every so often, every 10 years of war and peace, and we get all bent out of shape about it. Maybe we need it. Maybe we need a certain amount of drama in our lives. I don't know. I certainly don't seem to like it. I have a more enjoyable time when the waters are calm than when they're choppy. Oh, I get tummy rumbles when they're choppy. We went whale watching in Cape Cod. I think it was Cape Cod. It was up there somewhere. We went out with Greenpeace on this boat. When we bought the tickets, it sounded so fun. And then 2.5 hours out there, we're still not where the whales are. We got to go 6 hours out into the middle of the ocean where the fucking whales are. We got to chase them down. And the boat, which seemed big at the dock, wasn't that big. 4 hours out into the fucking middle of the ocean. Those waves started picking up. I sat there on the edge of the boat and just puked everything I had in me, then dry heaved for about an hour. My girl looked at me the whole time just like, man, we never should have came. And I was just like, yeah, I'm going to jump off. This is where our relationship ends. I'm dying here. I'm never going to survive this. But the whales were cool. I don't like conflict, and I try to avoid it. However, I have realized, maybe some of you have realized this also, an odd moment of power in conflict, where you're forced to think fast, to think on your feet, to think for your life, possibly. Where you're trying to save your life or somebody else's. This is an incredibly important scenario. Conflict is minute by minute, second by second. Things are happening fast. A fight. Have you ever been in a fight? I don't know if any of you have ever been in a fight. Fights are quick. You watch these boxing matches and they go forever. A real fight isn't like that. Bam. It's over. Real fights are quick. And if you're in a fight, it may feel like that you duked it out. The whole thing didn't last but 5 minutes. Maybe less. And I've had the sensation in the moment of battle, in a heated argument, in a debate, where I just notice that my brain cells are firing fast, faster than normal. A lot of times I feel like a slow dumbass. I have dyslexia, and I'll just sit there and be like, I'll sit there at the ketchup aisle in the grocery store looking at ketchup and catsup and just sit there for 20 minutes and just like an idiot, like, well, which one is better? I don't know what to pick. But you get me in an argument, man, and bam, 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 my fucking brain cells are firing. I'm coming up with shit fast. I've noticed this in fights too, where I can think fast. I can think faster than my opponent. I can think of where this is going before you even get there, and that's an advantage. I notice a sense of confidence and power in a conflict that I may not experience other times. I may question myself, so much so to where I could be paralyzed. Should I do this? Should I not do this? I got to make the right decision. I don't want to fuck up. Conflict happens, bam, decision made. Within a second, instantaneous. I'm not pausing. I'm just acting. I get in the zone, like Michael Jordan, where you're just in the flow of the universe. You're not even really thinking anymore. It's just happening. Now, I'm not encouraging you to go out and get in fights to experience some sort of high or to feel like you're some kind of God king on earth. Look how powerful I am. Some people absolutely do this. They go around starting arguments, starting fist fights, getting in trouble just because they want that sensation of dominance, of power, of confidence, of all that. Makes them feel good. The only time they ever feel smart is when they're arguing with something about politics, or whatever. I'm not suggesting to create conflict. We're just wondering, is there harmony in conflict? Food for thought.